Hello everyone. Today our topic will be fundamental rights. And recently there is this recent controversies there around fundamental rights. So we will discuss a little bit of that as well. And let's get started with our topic. So today's questions uh, can the government take away our freedom of speech, our fundamental rights absolute? What happened if they are violated? Okay, so these are going to be our questions of the day, and let me know in the comment section after this video ends. Okay, so let's find out if these questions are there and not. Okay, so what are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are the basic human rights guaranteed by the Constitution to all citizens of India. They ensure dignity, equality, and freedom for every individual. Okay, so that's the basic thing. And what are fundamental rights? If we say layman's language, so what are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are the basic rights, like we have equality, dignity, and freedom. Like that's what a normal person can say. Okay, so in the part third of the Indian Constitution, from Article 12 to, sorry, it's not 12, it's 14 to 35, deals with these rights. Okay, these are justiciable, meaning if they are violated, you can approach the court. Okay, and fun fact is, sorry, it's not, okay, it's 14 to 32. Okay, so there is just some editing mistake. Okay, so okay, these are in the Indian Constitution. Okay, fundamental rights. Fun fact: Dr. B.R. Ambedkar called them the heart and soul of the Constitution. Okay, so what are fundamental rights? Heart and soul of the Constitution. There are six fundamental rights, and we'll see one by one. Okay, so right to equality from Article 14 to 18. It guarantees equality before the law. That obviously from the name itself you can know that it offers equality before the law, no discrimination based on race, caste, gender, etc. And obviously, like anyone's gender, anyone's caste, religion, or background, or anything. Okay, so no discrimination will be allowed on those basis. Okay. Then we have equal opportunity in public jobs. So as we know, like in any recruitment or jobs, like everybody is equal and no one will be given preferences and anything like that. Okay. So this is what right to equality is all about. And let's see an example of it. If a government job is denied to someone based on the caste, it violates Article 16 of the Constitution. Okay. So supposedly if a government job is for a like maybe a teacher, and like if someone from a not so maybe like we can say other backward caste category comes in and like is eligible for that job, but if the government denies this, or if anyone deny like the person, like to do the job, then it's the violation of Article 16, that right to equality. And like just because someone is from some caste or belong from some like religion or race or sect, then like violation or discrimination on those basis can be punishable by law. Okay, then we have second right, that is the right to freedom. Okay, from Article 19 to 22. So, freedom of speech and expression is included in this right. Freedom to form associations, freedom to move, live, and work anywhere in India. And these are all the, like key points or key freedoms what we have under the article of right to freedom. Okay. So, there is this recent thing that the right to freedom and expression was misused. And how these things, misuse, let's see from an example. Social media bans, sedition laws, how far can the government go in restricting speech? So what happens is there is this difference between, hate speech and criticism, or maybe, like violation of laws and everything, like, Obviously, government can make laws that those which are not social and uh, against the social structure of our like society. So if something is like affecting the nature sector and a lot of people, then the government can make laws and like put restrictions on the freedom of speech and expression in that way. Okay, let's see the next. Right against exploitation. So it protects against human trafficking, forced labor, that is the bonded labor, and child labor. Okay, so what happens is earlier in times, what used to happen, like a lot of people didn't had land or maybe like agricultural land, and they used to work at zamindar's land, and like all those forced labor was there, bond labor was there, like I'm not able to, or someone is not able to pay their loans, they have to do their like give their labor to someone for like generations and all sort of things. So that was bonded labor, and now it is abolished. Okay, so right against exploitation. So if somebody is, like exploiting you or anyone, then it is a crime, basically. Okay, and even like, child labor is a crime. And it is example is if a factory employs children under 14, it violates this right. So if a children under 14 years of age, like works in a factory or anywhere, then it is a crime. Okay? So, because children are, made to study and in the schools and, enjoy their life. They are not made to work. Okay. Then we have right to freedom of religion. Earlier we had right to freedom of speech and expression. Now we have right to freedom of religion. Okay. So it guarantees freedom of practice, profess, and propagate any religion. Okay, no matter from which religion you belong, you can practice and propagate your religion and profess your religion. Okay, the way you want it. Okay, no forced conversions. So it also is there, like, propagating your religion, practicing your religion doesn't come with, like forcefully converse, like someone else as well. So, okay, so make sure like you're not doing this, just practice your own religion and that's it. Okay, don't force your religion to anyone and everything like that. Okay, no government funding for religious institutions. Okay, so this is also, like third point also has certain limitations or what we can say as, like certain loopholes. So what it is, like no government funding for religious institutions from the majority religion. Okay. So for the, like the minority religions, government will fund. Okay. So there is also this thing like, the what we can say as the Maulvis or the like people from uh like those sects. So what happens is like if they are teaching in a madrasa, then like the principals or the teachers, salary will be given from the like government's pockets. Okay, pockets. Okay. Example, wearing religious symbols in public institutions, where do we draw the line? So what happens is we are free to do anything we want, and obviously we can do, but we should make sure like we are not affecting someone else as well. Okay, so we can wear religious symbols anywhere, and that's what our right is all about, and where we drew a line. So obviously, like like until and unless we are not forcefully conversion someone else, that's okay. Okay. Okay, cultural and educational rights. So, what are these rights are all about? So, culture means we have to preserve our culture. Okay, so the right of minorities to preserve their culture. So, like a lot of things are there, or we can say as there is this island in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, where people out there, like the local people, or they never like when our independence happened and everything, And then what happened was like it was asked to people like if they want to join India, Pakistan, or they want to be independent. So what happened was those people didn't even know what is a nation or what these things are all about. So they wanted like nobody should disturb them in these things. They are not up to like they don't want such things and everything. Okay. So what happened is they are the least contacted hills on the earth, and they reside in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands group. And that there is a group, and like nobody goes there. And some people even went there to like forcefully converse other people. So what happened was they killed that person. Okay, so what happens is you should not forcefully do all those things. Okay, these are all like freedoms. Okay? Everybody is free to do whatever they want. Okay? So the right of minorities to preserve their culture. So they wanted to preserve their own culture, and a lot of people are there who live in jungles and like Adivasis. They don't want like to mix with other cultures or like different things. They want to preserve their own cultures. So it's their right, and that's why we have this culture and educational right. Okay, the right to establish and manage educational institutions, and we have the right to like establish any educational institution if we want it. Example, how do minority institutions like Christian and Muslim schools operate under this right? So, like Christian and Muslims are minority in India. So they operate freely, and like even their salaries are from the government's banks and everything. Okay. And next comes the right to constitutional remedies. Article 32 gives you the power to go to court if your fundamental rights are violated. Okay. Example, public interest litigation, VILs, and landmark cases like Keshwananda Bharti case. And Keshwananda Bharti case is very important because it includes basic structure doctrine and a lot of things, and like it is very important in our history and our polity and in every aspect. So we should focus on that as well. And we will make a dedicated video for Keshwan and the Bharti case. That is the basic structure doctrine. And we will let you know everything about this case. So constitutional remedies are like, writs and which the, like courts, like uh, use to, like uh, help you out with your, like if your rights are violated, supposedly my right is violated and I go to the court. So the court, like files petitions, and like I can find petition, and the this right, from this right, the Supreme Court or the High Courts have the power, like to um, make things clear for me to, or like if my right is violated, then I am exempted from everything else. Okay. Then are fundamental rights absolute? So is this a question? Yes, it is. So answer is no. The government can impose reasonable restrictions for national security, public order, morality, and decency. Example, hate speech laws, censorship in movies, emergency provisions, etc. So I hope this is clear because, like recently we had this controversy regarding freedom of speech and everything. So morality and decency and public order is very important. So that's why reasonable restrictions can be put upon this. And like the people who were mocking some things and other like publicly and everything. So what happened is FIR has been launched about for against them, and now things will go in court and we'll see what happens next. And that's why we have censorship and everything. Okay, then let's see the start. And this is very important as it will give you a clear vision or clear like picture about this. So fundamental rights, let's see first the right to freedom. This right allows individuals to live free and express themselves. Okay, So what type of rights we have? Freedom of speech. Citizens are free to express their opinions publicly. Obviously, like we are free to express my opinion. Even I am expressing my opinion here on the YouTube and I am free. Okay. And free to assemble. Individuals can gather peacefully without arms. So if you are not carrying any, like artilleries or arms and everything, and like you are not gathering for something heinous crime or everything, then you can assemble. Like you can go anywhere you want. Like do anything you want and have peace in your life. Okay. Freedom of movement. Citizens can travel freely throughout the territory of India. Okay. You can go anywhere you want and like do everything you want. Okay. Then the right to equality. Okay. This right ensures equal treatment and prohibits discrimination against any individual. Okay. Equality before law. Every individual is equal before the law. Any person with any gender, race, caste, sex, or anything, everybody is equal. Okay. Prohibition of discrimination. No citizens can be discriminated against based on religion, race, caste, or gender, as we have already seen. Equal access to public places. Everyone has the right to access public facilities equally. Okay. Then we have right against exploitation. Prohibition of trafficking. No one can be trafficked for forced labor or sexual exploitation. Like anything should not happen. Okay. Like exploitation should not happen. Basically, that's the meaning. Prohibition of bonded labor. Any form of bonded labor is banned under this right, as we have already seen this. Okay. Then we have educational and cultural and educational rights. So, right to preserve culture, minorities can preserve their culture and language if they want, and a lot of people are doing that. And that's why we have, like our language, our culture. Every state in India has their own language, own culture, and everybody, like preserves their culture. Okay, right to establish educational institutions. Minorities have the right to set up their own educational institutions. Okay. See the next, the right to freedom of religion. Freedom to practice religion. Citizens can choose their religion without interference. And like we are free to do, free to choose anything we want in our religion. Okay. Freedom to propagate our religion. Individuals can spread and promote their religions freely. Okay. And not through conversion. That's the main thing. Okay. Then we have a right to constitutional remedies. This right allows individuals to seek justice where rights are violated. So if our rights are violated, we can go to like the court and writ petitions and everything. A lot of things are there. So we'll make a dedicated video for these remedies as well. Okay. So access to courts. Individuals can approach courts for the enforcement of rights. Writs for protection, that's what we will discuss in our further videos. Various writs can be issued by court to protect rights. Okay. So let's see what's